My name is Emma Graham, and I'm the Student Life Associate at the University of St. Michael's College. Joining me today is Father Andre Lima, one of the newest priests at the Archdiocese of Toronto. Congratulations, Father.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about your life before entering the seminary.
Well, just before entering the seminary, I was studying back home in Brazil. I was doing some studies on Portuguese and English language as well, because it was kind of what you call here teacher's college, right? I was going to become a teacher, and that's what I was doing. Also working a little bit at some public schools already.
Great. And when did you feel the call to the priesthood?
Well, the call for the priesthood really came when I was at university, because I was also deepening my faith. You know, I had found a community where I could really come to know what it is, you know, that the church speaks about, what the church is all about. And that community helped me a lot to see, or at least to start asking myself questions and to also wonder about this vocation.
How has your time at St. Augustine's Seminary changed you?
Well, I got a few kilos, and also for sure it helped me to know more God. You know, like because you know, being a seminarian for more than 10 years, I came to realize really how God knows me very well. He's not. He knows every inch of me, you know, all my thoughts, and He cares for me. And this is what really has consoled me in all this time, you know, throughout all the, you know, being so far away from the family and in a different culture, knowing that God is with me and that He knows me very well has always accompanied me throughout these years. Yeah.
Great. What are you most excited about after ordination?
Well, for sure, I'm most excited about meeting new people. You know, we don't know which is the parish we're going to before we get ordained. So that's what really makes me more excited, you know, to see who are the first people that God is going to put in front of me as a priest to serve and to lead them in some way.
Why do you think that the world needs priests today?
Well, we are in a world that is very far away from God. You know, I myself grew in an environment in which, although, you know, I come from Brazil. Brazil is no longer a huge Catholic country, right? We have lost many people, and many people are losing their faith, even from other religions. And we see how society is confused, right? And also I see that this is a world in which what we are living now in the church is very much something that, in a sense, consoles me, because to become a priest today is not the dream job of many people, but I see that God, this is the favorable time to become a priest. You know, in the midst of all the crises in the church, God knows, and He knows who He's putting there, and I trust in Him.
What is your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse comes from the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 2, verses 14 and 17 and 15, because it speaks very much about how God has acted through Jesus Christ, you know, coming to free us from the fear of death, you know, and giving us this consciousness that God loves us, that He doesn't condemn us.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book is The Lord of the Rings, which I read only in Portuguese so far, but it has been my favorite book for a while.
That's great. And your favorite hymn?
My favorite hymn is, what is it called? Hail, Queen of Heaven Above, you know, because it's very simple and also very deep as well, because the Virgin Mary, you know, accompanies us all this time as well in our seminary. Coming from the Redemptorist Mater Seminary, you know, it means the Mother of the Redeemer. So we feel very much close to her, and this hymn has accompanied me also throughout all these years.
What is your favorite band?
My favorite band? Well, it's one that nobody knows here in Canada. It's called, if we would translate in English, it's called Urban Legion. They were a rock band in Brazil, very famous.
And what was your favorite band in high school?
In high school, Linkin Park.
What is your favorite prayer?
My favorite prayer is the night prayer, which some people call the compline, because it's a prayer that we, as we learn to use the breviary, we pray it just before going to bed, and it's basically a prayer that helps me to hand my life onto the hands of God, right? Because we don't know if the next day we are waking up, and this prayer pretty much allows me to go to sleep, and to leave everything in the hands of God, my vocation, my worries, everything.
What is your favorite sports team?
Brazil, the soccer team, yes.
Favorite saint?
My favorite saint is Saint Paul, because he's very bold and he's very real. He speaks about real human struggles in his letters, and this touches me very much, because I see that my struggles and the struggles of the people are not different from the struggles of the saints. And if God can work so much in the life of a man who was a sinner like Saint Paul, he can work in my life and in the life of the people.
If you could be any superhero, who would you be?
I always dreamt of being Superman, just because he's very, as I was growing up, I saw him as a very, somebody who would sacrifice himself for others, right? In a sense, he has a bit of a grasp of what Jesus Christ is, right? But he's not real. But I always dreamt of being Superman.
Awesome. What was your first job?
My first job was at a school. I was working as I don't know how you call it in English, supervisor kind of job, yeah, at a public school.
What is the most used app on your phone?
The most used app is Spotify, yes.
And who is your favorite person in the Bible, other than the persons of the Trinity?
Saint Paul.
Thank you for joining me, Father.